Hi everyone. In this video, we will be taking a look at the tracking plan module for measurement. So I'll just select a demo project. There are two different modules, and primarily in terms of tracking, whenever generally as a GA4 expert, I begin to understand clients or my own websites, I first look forward to whether these websites are built on any stores, any specific stores like Shopify. So, for example, this particular website for a client, this is totally built on Shopify, and it follows Shopify format, right? So, all add to cart purchase events can be easily captured using a simple plugin itself. So if your clients are on Shopify, you don't need to particularly use these modules unless you want to specifically track any particular events or interactions within Google Analytics. Instead, you will simply go to your Shopify app store and install our Shopify app, and then there is a WooCommerce plugin. So in terms of any WooCommerce website, you can simply use our WooCommerce plugin and install this WooCommerce plugin, enter all your events that you want, and there are separate modules built for these two stores here. So just use either Shopify tracking or WooCommerce tracking and follow the guide which is provided here, step 1, 2 and 3, and you should be all sorted without any coding related work or any Google Tag Manager or Google Analytics 4 setup. Everything is taken care within these two different modules, right? But what if you have or your clients have a custom website, right? So for example, uh, taking a look at probably a lead generating website which cannot be can be built, but generally people don't use Shopify or WooCommerce for such websites. Probably it might be on WordPress or might be on any other custom HTML uh, developed website, right? So it could involve lots of other user interactions like contact buttons. There could be menus, there could be form related events, there might be buttons, card related buttons, and then again there could be like video related events, FAQs in your website, and how people are playing videos on your website. So the tracking uh, as a process involves capturing all these elements and then particularly setting up events for each of these elements, and the plan where you do all this is called either a tracking plan or it is called measurement plan, right? So when you look at this particular module, you can see there are three things at the bottom. So there is a web or app. So this is a particular screen or a facility that helps you identify the pages that you want to track. You might want to track one page here. You might have a detailed website like let's say this is another example where you might have many pages like a home page, or like you might have a sector specific page uh, which have a different format, different events you might want to track, and then there might be login related forms, maybe sign up forms again on a same website, right? So if you are looking forward to tracking a custom website, these are the modules which will come very handy. So just go to measurement plan builder, and inside your web and app you can so there are multiple ways, right? You can see four different ways to create UI here. So right now what we are just doing is we are trying to analyze our website and primarily understanding what kind of interactions you want to track and what kind of pages or screens you are going to track, right? So generally it is a unique list of pages, like every page, every website generally has home page, contact us page, or there could be product pages, product detail pages, or maybe like generally there are up to like 10, 20 maximum pages in a particular website, right? So there are four options you can use to uh, create UIs, create pages, or capture what you want to track, right? Uh, there is a fifth option that you get when you use the Chrome plugin. So if you are on a Chrome plugin, that Chrome also allows you to additionally use Chrome related capabilities to capture uh, different pages, or the parts of pages using Chrome extension, right? So let's say, uh, how do I approach tracking uh, for any particular client, right? So taking an example, for, let's say, we go to a sample website. This is one of the product website, which is a SaaS product. Very simple kind of website, but yeah, I think it has few things here, right? So you can see there is a header, and this is a home page. There are three different pages. How it works page, which has a, again, scroll. There is a button at the bottom, and there is a pricing page. Again, pricing page has a try for free, and there are some forms, frequently asked questions here, and overall there is a footer which is common across pages, right? So uh, generally I would start by identifying common components or pages across the website, right? So in this case, it looks like uh, header and footer are the two common pages, or the parts of sections of the page which we might want to separately track, right? So what I would do here is, generally I would go to use Chrome extension, because it is easier to capture this from Chrome. And again, if you have a Figma design, you can definitely look at Figma option. But yeah, I think if you have a Chrome extension, it just takes a screenshot. So I would select header for, let's say, this is a header for my project we report work, right? And if you can provide, you can also add a page URL for a sample only. Now for Chrome there are two options. You can either capture an area, or you can capture a full page, right? So right now we are only talking about common elements, so I'm going to just simply capture only an area, right? So you can select, for example, this as a capture area, and let's say I just selected this as a area that I want to track. So this is for uh, sample. So whenever somebody wants to refer to this area or this screenshot at a later stage, they will be able to see by opening this UI that what is getting tracked, under what kind of events are being tracked under this UI, right? So for example, if this is a header, somebody later, whenever wants to refer to the events, they will be able to see that, hey, this is the screenshot that somebody previously has tracked, and it just gives you a history, that okay, this was the screenshot, or this was the screen that was captured. So and there are multiple uses. I will also walk you through each one of them. So for example, if you are talking about common elements, the tracking will be separate. If you are looking at the other elements of the page, generally the tracking is separate for all these different elements, like watch a video click, try it yourself click. You could tell it that this might be a sort of separate custom events as well. We will take a look at. So this, for example, in this case we have taken a full page screenshot. So it has captured the full page, right? And without like any other problems, it has captured the full page by just simply scrolling the whole page, and the UI is captured. So now once you capture the UI, you have two different options. For each UI, you can either look at events, and you can create parameters, right? So once you when we talk about events and parameters, uh, you have to also understand a little basic concept of Google Analytics, that for any website, parameters could be defined as a detailed information about users interaction, right? So uh, in this case, for example, if I am interacting with this video, right, Google Analytics can tell you that this user has clicked on a video. So Google Analytics can capture an event called video click, right? And all these events can be seen under your events report, right? So the way you see like page view event, session start event, form start event, you can see that someone has clicked a video. Now if you want to divide this video click, if you have multiple videos uh, on your page, you might want to divide this video click into different parameters as well, right? So for example, I might want to capture a video title, video ID. Sometimes I might want to also capture, maybe if it is a video progress event, right? Let's say if this is a video progress event, I would might want to capture a video progress percentage, like what kind of percentages user have seen for this video, right? Uh, so let's say if you want to drill down such in such a way, Google Analytics provides you something called secondary dimensions in your reports, right? So you can, let's say, first filter out your form start events, and then what you can do is you can select your custom dimensions and select form name. So right now this account do not have any forms, but you can probably drill down it by page URL, right? So whatever custom dimensions you are passing with these events, you can capture them with this. For example, if I want to drill down this with a page path, so you can see that this form start event has only happened on one single page, and this drill down has a larger like number of you can see like how each page is capturing different same event but on different pages. So this drill down feature is very useful, and for a very complex website, even like for example an e-commerce website who are selling shoes, right? You might want to capture banner clicks, but with banner clicks you might also want to understand what banner user is clicking, right? For example, if you have a banner or if you have a product page, you might want to also capture what product ID or what product name or what kind of size of this product user is selecting, and what color user is more interested for this product, right? So these little things gives you more insights, deeper insights into what users are looking for, what are the kind of product market fit you have for each product. You can drill down into insights at a later stage, right? So that is all covered by Google Analytics custom dimensions or custom definitions, right? How to check what kind of dimensions you have? You can simply go to like custom definitions under your data display, and if you have already created, if you are familiar, you might have already created them, but if you have not, you can create your new custom dimensions called, let's say, I might want to capture a video progress percent, event level dimensions. There could be user level dimensions too, right? Like if user has an age, user has certain preferences for payments, user might have preferences for checkout, or he might have n number of other preferences. You can store it as a user level dimensions. So while using measurement, you don't have to configure all this. What you can do is you can simply go to parameters. We have some parameters which are ready-made available for you. So you can either, let's say if user is tracking a search event, you can use a search term parameter which is already defined for you, and you can simply click on add button, and search term will be parameter will be created within Google Analytics, and you will be able to use this parameter with all your events, right? So let me just quickly add and see. If parameter already exists, it will definitely give you an error that this parameter has already been created, so you don't need to create it again, right? So it means this parameter is already in the list here, and you can simply use this parameter into your events, right? So all these parameters are the parameters which you have already created. Now, going to events, let us, so generally you will begin with your UI, right? So going back to our list of UI, we had created header, we had we have also created a page, right? So you can go to this, you can go to a page, or you can go to a header and start tracking those things, right? So this is the process which is called building your tracking plan, so that at the end of the day, once your tracking plan is over, generally it takes amount like it takes like 4 hours to 2 days to create a good tracking plan for your website, and that's a role of GA4 expert that is played. Now, in terms of getting recommendations, if you are on a home page, like a full page tracking, you want to identify events for the page, you can click on AI recommended events, and it will try to fetch different events that are more relevant towards your page, right? So in this case, I get like view items, select content, like whenever a user selects a content, right? Like managers, entrepreneurs, uh, resourceful leader. So all these clicks are called select content events, right? Uh, there could be other events like sign up events. So it has given recommended like start for free is a sign up button. So you might also want to track a sign up event. You might want to also capture video play event, right? So it also understood that there are videos on the page, and uh, for this user it might be important to capture a video play event. If you open this, you get some event parameters by default, right? So you don't have to create parameters here. If you are using a template, these parameters are by default created, right? So you just click on the event, click add, and the event will be created under your particular page. So all events for a particular page can be seen under my events tab, right? So you create events here, you see all your events under my events tab. uh, what happens when an event is created? What we do is we give you the code for this event, that hey, if you want to track this event, your uh, website, right, needs to uh, follow this code, needs to be deployed by your developers, right, which is called your data layer push events. Some of you might be already familiar. If you are not familiar, we will also create a separate video about data layer, but that's a bit of a technical concept, that you hold your data into a particular separate technical layer called data layer, and you push values like uh, an event called video play with all your title parameters, right? Once the event is captured, what you can do is the tool helps you configure these events right into your Google Tag Manager, right? So you click on push to GTM, and if it is not existing, it would be created. So in this case, let me take an example of maybe a separate event, because this event already exists. So I'll go to, let's say, templates. Now there are some templates related to video player capturing, like you can capture video play, video pause, video resume, video progress, right? So maybe let's say I want to capture progress as an event with these parameters, and I will add this event, right? Go to my events. Let's see if this has been configured or not, and push this to Google Tag Manager. Right, so configuration has been pushed to Google Tag Manager. So this is our demo container, right? And within this container you can see under overview, if you just sort by last edited, you will be able to see that measurement has already configured video progress event variable. So this is the data layer variable which has been created. There is a video progress trigger which has been created, and there is also a tag that has been created. So the good thing is you don't need to like set up all tags. It has been already configured for you with right parameter which will send data to your Google Analytics 4. If you are setting this for the first time, you would like to generally go to variables and set up your GA4 measurement ID, right? If this is still not set up, your GA4 will not showcase any data. So please do remember to set this measurement ID, and if you are not much familiar with GA4, you can find that ID under data collections, data streams, and within data streams you can go to your web stream, and your web stream will quickly showcase you this measurement ID, right? So just replace this measurement ID without fail. What happened right now is that this event required I think if you look at this event, there are 4 parameters which were required, right? But what the tool also checks is if these parameters are present into your container already, it is not going to recreate them, rather it is going to reuse those parameters, right? So if you have used video ID earlier, it is not going to recreate those parameters. Like these were created like 15 hours ago. So what the tool has done is it has reused those parameters and primarily attached those parameters with your event. So now in terms of the setup, we are all good, we are done. In terms of your analytics configuration is also taken care. The only thing that is left now is to capture these variables on your website, right? So generally developers are more familiar. You can also reach out to our team for any help. Like we do provide help to set up, or we can also provide you with some sample code snippets. If you have a small team, you can just simply use our code snippets and learn how to set up data layer for your different pages, elements, and we will also be creating a separate video for this, right? But ultimately it is more like pushing events into data layer. And what the first step of tracking is, that event should be whenever a user clicks on a video or video is progressing, the event should be pushed to the data layer, right? So any example for our previous clients, if you can see, like you want to see how the data layer gets populated, and it is definitely on a client side, right? So you can see any website, how each website is sending data when you click, right? So for example, when you go to a website, just type data layer. So for this you need to first go to more tools. You can open a developer tools, and under the developer tools just go to console and type data layer, and you will be able to see what kind of information has been pushed to this data layer, right? So right now you can only find the default events. There is no other event which has been captured. So let me show you one example, right? When I open this FAQ and closed, and when you open the data layer, you can see that it has now pushed FAQ item open and FAQ item close events with some parameters as well, right? So what was the index of FAQ? Number 1. right? FAQ label was what is Construct Support Australia, and there was a page URL, so it also captures a page URL. uh, and this data layer pushing is generally via a particular uh, Google Tag Manager script, or your I would say your clients can uh, clients development team can choose to also write their own data layers, and ultimately it just pushes data to uh, your website. Whenever a website is interacted, the data layer events are pushed. So there are some sample data layer codes. So for this particular let's say FAQ uh, event, this is a sample data layer code that you use to track FAQs. Right? I will just capture this into separate file. Right? So yeah, let me just format. So if you see this, it's a very simple code, but yeah, if you are non-technical, you might find this a bit technical, and it might be good for you to reach out for some help related to data layer, either to our teams or whoever is managing your tech. It captures the buttons, like what buttons we want to track or what kind of elements we want to track using HTML class or ID elements, and then it iterates over each button, attaches a listener, captures each of the parameters, that what is the question text, what is the index that the user is interacting with, and then ultimately pushes the code that we have given to this client using measurement, and then it tries to attach this for like up to 30 times in an interval of 300 milliseconds. So if there are elements which load later on the page, that would still, the events would be still attached to these parameters, right? So once everything is done, you should be able to receive these events after proper configuration. What you can do is you can also try to validate these events, right? Once you have captured, if you have already integrated your Google BigQuery, the tool also allows you to capture any event and see if this event has been captured correctly into your data, or if there are any issues, it would particularly highlight these issues as well, right? But for this to work, for this validate option to work, you need to definitely first of all you need to link your Google BigQuery. So there is a separate process that you need to follow. You have to connect your project here, right? What kind of Google Cloud project? You need to create a cloud project, link your cloud project, enable your daily exports, and once, if you are not familiar, just I think searching GA4 integration with BigQuery, there is a detailed setup guide which Google has provided about how to start creating your project from scratch. So you just have to follow this guide, and uh, your Google Analytics 4 should be primarily easy to link with your project. Right now, once you link your GA4 with your BigQuery, the kind of the kind of outcome of this integration is, you will be able to see under your BigQuery project which you have linked. So in my case, I have linked measurement public. You will be able to see certain data sets, which is something like analytics underscore whatever data set you this is your property ID, right? So 4910782274. So generally you get your property ID under property details, right? So this is my property ID, and all my data is exported here. So for our validation module to work, primarily you need to integrate your BigQuery, and when you go to BigQuery, select your credentials, provide relevant access, and then select your project ID, and then in the dataset ID, just make sure that you select the right dataset for the tracking. In my case, I have selected a different database for demo purpose, but yeah, you need to select exactly analytics underscore your property ID. Now, when you go to Plan Builder, go to any events, home page, and let's say in my case, I have created a purchase event, which is a default e-commerce event. I want to validate over like last 5 days. So what it does is it captures from all the data that your this table has captured. Right. So if you want to see your data, you can go to events, just type query and select star, select run, and Google BigQuery will showcase you all the data your tables have captured. Right. Now you don't need to worry about capturing data and all this. As far as the data is populated in BigQuery, you are all sorted. Right. So what tool does is over like last 5 days, it fetches random hits from your data and it tries to validate whether event has been captured according to the schema that you had designed in the previous stage. Now, for any templated events, you're all set. You don't need to worry about anything else. You are fine. For anything custom, right? If there is a web page for which you want to create a, for example, try it yourself, click is not present. I want to create this event. So in this case, you would sorry, ultimately create a click for try it yourself event. You can provide a description as well that when a user clicks on try it yourself, and this also allows you to add more values, right? Like if you want to, for example, capture any of your variables from the page, you can definitely pass those into code snippet. Right now I don't have any variables, so I just want to capture this event and I want to add this event. Right, under the home page I have added this event. So go to home page, go to my events, and you can see that there has been one event which is created. You can see the code and you can see configure and validate sections. Right now if you try to validate, you won't see any events. Once you start capturing these events, you will be able to validate whether event has been configured, captured correctly or not. So yeah, this is the kind of module that ultimately helps you build your tracking plan, configure your Google Tag Manager, and configure your Google Analytics module with all your parameters and event related actions that you want to capture. And definitely there are templates that you can use to quickly build your tracking plan without worrying about different events. So there are like all the major events are already present under templates, like all e-commerce events, all lead generation, convert lead, close leads, disqualifying leads, generating lead. There are game related events, there are login events, there are sharing events, sign up events. Most of the events, like important events, will be already present, like video play related events, form related events, and search related events are already present, right? So and this library is something that we are growing day by day. The only manual step right now is to code your data layer, and earlier like we had separated data layer coding from this whole process because it is more developer focused. But with the revamp of this module, we will be also helping you track data layers right within Google Tag Manager. We will also configure data layers for you for certain types of events, so you don't need to worry about even data layer stuff, right? So for all the default related events, we will be able to help you with data layers. And that module is still work in progress, but yeah, I think overall data layer is a bit manual. If you need help, please feel free to reach out, and we will be able to help you either code certain events for you or provide you detailed data layer code snippets, which we have used for other projects in our past projects for a sample of sorts. Right. So this is primarily a GA4 module, and these are the two separate tracking modules: Shopify tracking and WooCommerce tracking. These modules are again simple, but they deserve a separate video, so we will skip these in this particular video. For any separate tracking like server side tracking, you can use these modules, and each module have their own guides, so you can definitely refer to them. And yeah, I think overall, I think the tracking plan builder helps you reduce your overload and manual work that goes into tracking your modules, and it supports multiple ways to create your UIs, which are pretty simple. So again, if you look at Figma, generally you would install this plugin on any of your Figma mockups to capture a UI. You can use Figma mockup and simply load the plugin into your Figma workspace. Click on run. Once you run the plugin, if you are already into Figma, you can also search Google Analytics for here, like search GA4, and you will be able to see our plugin under your recommendations, right? And you can go to your same project, go to plan builder. So the interface is same. The only difference is there are 3 folds here. Rather, Figma, we are not allowed to capture the whole screen, so it's a step-by-step UI. Go to create UI from Figma. So let's say if I want to capture a particular screen or a particular form, what I can do is create from Figma design, and now it is listening for my selection. Right, so let's say I captured this form, or let's say I want to capture this particular this page. Right, so it has now captured the page, and I can say this is my web HTML dashboard page. There is a page URL. If you have a page URL, provide a page URL here, right? And dev URL is anyway optional. So, and then create and save. So the UIs can be also created from Figma as well, and there are some other Figma specific features, but yeah, this module specific feature is creating a UI from Figma. Majority of the times, if you are tracking an app, you will create UI from Figma, right? And if you look at any of these pages, and let's say if we go to any event for an app tracking, generally you would want to get your code for your app technology. So the tool also gives you Android versus iOS Swift code that your developers can implement. So yeah, I think overall Figma is one option. Other options include crawling your website. So very simple, you enter your URL. You can create UIs manually. If you have a screenshot from client or from your website, you can upload them right here, or you can choose to use, for example, sitemap as well, right? So for example, if client has a website which also has a sitemap, you can crawl a sitemap which will give you all URLs, and you just select the URLs you want to track, right? So it becomes way easier for you to like create pages that you want to track. Uh, Only thing that you need to be aware of is do not select duplicate pages, right? If there is a blog page, you don't need to select all blogs, just select one blog page which is a unique format that you want to track for this particular website, right? And when you start crawling, it crawls all pages that you have selected, and it creates your UI here with the kind of prefix that I had given. If you go to the page, it will also show you the blog page that was captured here. So overall, yeah, I think this is the functionality of this module. If you need any help, just go to need help and feel free to reach out, create a MeasureMed product support ticket or GF4 support tickets, and our team will get back to you. Thank you.